spend all your love making time. But if it all fell to pieces tomorrow, would you still be mine? When you're looking for your freedom, nobody seems to care. When you can't find that door, you can't find it anywhere, and there's nothing to believe in. Still you're running back, you keep coming back, you're running back for more. So put me on the highway, show me a sign, take it to the limit one more time. Take it to the limit, precious Lord, take my hand to the limit. Please, please, take it to the limit one more time. Take it to the limit. I would take it to the limit. Take it to the limit one more time. One more time. Thank you.
Hey, are these guys good or what? Another round of applause for Trilogy. Thanks, guys. Okay, at this time, if I could have you take your seats. I don't know if this thing's working. Is it working now? Okay, that's better. Thank you. Thank you. All right, break's over. Okay, Dale, sit down. Boy, he's my prop. See, I just pick on Dale. Yeah, and he did follow directions. Does he follow directions like that at home, Sue? No. So he's not house broke. Hey, at this time, would like to introduce our keynote speaker for the night, Mike Williams. I'd say that Mike is staying with Kathy and I at the house, and we had just a brief chance to kind of interface a little bit and talk a little bit. But one of the things I'm pretty certain is that Mike Williams has also, like Joe Dalton, Mike Williams has discovered his purpose in life. And I said earlier that we can't create our own purpose. We try, but we discover our purpose. Mike has done that. First and foremost, Mike is a missionary in the Dominican Republic. Preaching the gospel, and I'll take a line from St. Francis of Assisi. He said, "Preach the gospel always. Use words if necessary." Conversation I had with Mike earlier at the house, his comment to me was, if everybody could just do a little bit, we do just a little bit, each and every one of us, and we get great things accomplished together. Mike is a writer. He's written 8 books. A comedian. I think we're going to find that out shortly. He's worked on 17 comedy projects. I'm still working on my first. Unlike me, he's a funny man. So please give a warm welcome to our keynote speaker, Mike Williams.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome, buddy.
Great to be with you guys tonight. Good evening. This is a great crowd. I was in this room about 8 years ago, and Bob Edwards was in this room. And is this your wife, Bob, right here next to you, Joanne? And I came past and they said, we've seen you before. And I said, yes, I believe 8, 9, maybe 10 years ago I was here representing Vitae. Some of you know those folks. And your wife, Joanne, looked at me and she said, are you going to tell the same jokes that you told 10 years ago? To which I said, what jokes did I tell? And she said, I can't remember. So I said, no. Oh, wow. This has been a great crowd. Now, Joe, I've gotten to walk around. This table threatened me. I want you to know, next year when I'm back, don't put them up front, okay? Because they said if I wasn't funny, they were going to throw food up here. Which is why I said before I go up, I need this table bust completely out of there. But I looked at our brother here. What is your name, sir? Mike. I looked at Mike and I said, brother, come on. Threatening to throw food to a fat guy is not a threat. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Okay, it's okay. Toss me that cheesecake if you get a little unnerved out there. Even if you like me, throw the cheesecake up here. That'll be just fine. It is an honor to be here. Sometimes people say, you're a comedian person. Why are you here representing a group that is here and is circling around the word abortion? And I want to answer that right up front. We're not here about abortion. We are here about lives being saved from abortion. Isn't that right? Yes. This is a rescue party. In fact, what I want you to do some years, I want you to take birthday candles and I want you to stick in every one of those desserts. Because with the people we have represented in this room, that about represents the number of children that you rescued with your gifts last year. Tonight is a birthday party. A birthday party. Wow. It is my honor to be here. I feel like I am part of you. My wife and I, 8 years ago, moved to the Dominican Republic to start a project down there. And in the development of that, we saw a need, and we helped develop and start 2 pregnancy centers down there. So we're part of you. That's our heart, too. Thank you so much. The dinner was delicious too. Wasn't it a great dinner? It was a delicious dinner. I was out with my, yes. I was out with my daughter. Now, my youngest daughter, her name is Kendall. And I was out with her a couple of weeks ago. She got to come with me. And it was a local date. We live in Florida when we're not in the Dominican Republic. And she drove up with me to the DeLand area. And that night for dinner, we had chicken cordon bleu, okay? You know, it sounds fancy when you say it, chicken cordon bleu. But she is 10 and she's lived on beans and rice in the Dominican Republic since she was 2. And she had never had chicken cordon bleu before. And on the way home, we called Mama and told Mama we're on the way home. We'll be home in about an hour and a half. And Mom and Kendall started talking. And Mama said, how was the program? She said, oh, it was very good, Daddy. It was really funny. And she said, how'd you like the dinner? And she said, oh, we had a great dinner. My wife said, well, what did you have? She said, we had Hot Pockets. And, you know... Because to a kid, that's what chicken cordon bleu is, Hot Pockets. She said, but it was fancy. They took the cardboard wrapper off it for us. We need to learn to laugh. You know that 42 times in Holy Scripture, laughter is mentioned. We need to laugh. The New England Journal of Medicine says if we laugh 100 times a day, it's equivalent for our heart muscle of jogging 10 miles. 100 laughs a day, 10-mile jog. Some of you will laugh enough tonight, you could have an extra piece of pie or cake on your table. Won't even bother you. It's free. Tonight was free, all right? That's a good thing. I want to say thank you also to that band. Wasn't that band excellent tonight? It was great. Good to see some folks my own age. Amen. All right. Now it's these young guys playing. Good to see you guys. I normally don't tell this story, but I'll tell it to you tonight. I was at the Springs Church in Ocala, Florida. And behind us here at the Springs Church was a 40-foot waterfall, but it was not a waterfall when I was setting up and doing the microphone check, Joseph. It was a rock wall. And then they introduced me, and all of a sudden water is flowing over the waterfall. And as I started speaking, I realized I was dancing around a little bit up here because I am 55 years of age, people. You cannot run water behind me. Are you with me? Okay? So do your friends a favor at the table. Don't pour a lot of water tonight. We'll be out of here in a little bit. I told him, I said, you're going to have to turn the water off or we're going to have 3 unscheduled intermissions during my time. Afterwards, one of the deacons came up to me. He said, Brother Williams, that waterfall's the best $40,000 we ever spent. Since we put in a waterfall, preacher ain't gone longer than 12 minutes on a Sunday. So. I like to bring things that are current to the table. Folks, this is brand new. This just happened Sunday morning. I'm flying into Salt Lake City. Have you flown into Salt Lake City? I'm flying into Salt Lake City. SLC, airport code. I fly Delta. Delta's an acrostic. It means don't expect luggage to arrive. Delta's been good to me. Delta's been good. I love Delta. I love Delta. I'm a Delta Diamond, so I'm not negative at Delta. I love Delta very much. So we're landing in Salt Lake City. We're 5 minutes from landing. The pilot comes on and says, folks, we're 5 minutes from landing in Salt Lake City. We'll be landing at gate B5. I had been sleeping most of the time, but I woke up for that, pulled off my little eye shades, lifted up the curtain. I was on the window. There's a lady sitting right next to me. She looked out the window and she said, wow, I wonder what that big body of water is. I should have said, I don't know. But I couldn't help it. I just looked at her and I said, I don't know, ma'am. I'm not from Salt Lake. When God gives it to you, you need to just take it. You know what I'm saying? Just take it. It's out there. Humor is a gift. We are here to celebrate tonight. Some folks might say, why a comedian? And I will just be honest with you. I'm who you could afford, okay? If you would have given more last year, James Dobson himself would be here, okay? Technically, I'm your fault. It is my honor to be here in the room with people of like precious faith and ideology and the desire to be more than what I call bumper sticker pro-life, but to be really involved and part of saving the lives of children. I was in Seattle, Washington. I'd taken the red-eye flight. I was speaking at the pregnancy center there. I took the red-eye flight. If you've ever taken the red-eye, you know it's the flight that you get on about 11:30, 12:30 at night. And you fly from the west coast back toward the east coast. And now because of the rotation of the earth, that's a new thing now since they discovered it wasn't flat. And as you fly back, it takes a shorter amount of time because the earth is rotating with you there. You think because it's an overnight flight, you're going to sleep. Aha. You're not going to sleep. It was a rough flight. And I was exhausted when I finally got back home. I stopped first in Atlanta, of course, because, you know, you stop in Atlanta if you're going when we die, we all go through Atlanta. Right there. Hopefully they don't lose you, but I call it Purgatory International, Father. That's what I call it. And by the way, it's a little unnerving to have a priest right next to the stage, okay? Father, I'll be honest with you. I was in Louisville, Kentucky, speaking for a little way up there. There were two priests up front, and I noticed that during my presentation, one of the priests kept shaking his head back and forth, and he was the Irish priest. And afterwards, I walked down and I said, oh, Father, I think I offended you a little bit tonight. And he said, "Aye, young man," he said, "I'm going to have to give you 3 Hail Marys for what you said tonight." And there was another priest sitting right next to him from the Dominican Republic. And so my people, he leaned over, he said, "I thought you were hilarious. I'm taking 2 of them away." And so I did not know that you can find a discount priest. I know that now. So shop around. Shop around. But 3, is that 3 for that? Okay, thanks. Okay. I was so tired when I got home, I forgot to take my medicine. Now, it's important for me to take my medicine. I have a heart problem. You know that. We talked about that. In fact, I have died before. I actually flatlined 2 times in Butte, Montana 2 years ago, okay? Flatline, right, that one right there. And you know, not upset, but flatline, okay? Which was horrible because the month before I did a conference with the guy who wrote the book, 90 Minutes in Heaven. I don't know if you've read that book. But this guy went to heaven for 90 minutes, and it was beautiful. It was a radiant light and a wonderful band, and saw family members and saw Jesus, and my experience was completely different, okay? For me, it was dark. I heard Leonard Skinner playing and saw a picture of my mother-in-law. And so that's why I fought my way back twice. We're going to have a good time tonight, Joe. We're going to have a good time. They're with us. Okay. Oh, man. So I take medicine. My medicine is very time sensitive. I have to take it at 9 in the morning, 9 at night to keep everything, the heart beating on track, okay? That's how it's set up. I was so tired after the flight, I forgot to take my medicine, went to sleep, forgot to take my medicine, woke up around 2 o'clock in the afternoon, totally exhausted, came out, played with the kids a little bit, talked to them. I was just totally exhausted. I'm older now. I don't travel that time changing as well anymore. And so around 6 o'clock, I said, "Baby, I'm going to just go lay down in there." I went and laid down, fell fast asleep, forgot to take my evening medicine too. Not good, not good. I take 15 pills a day, okay? Right there, yeah. If my wife were here, she'd have her hands on her hips in the back going, "You tell them the truth." I take 15 pills a day, okay? 2 of them given to me by doctors. 13 given to me by people like you who have said, "If you'll take these, you'll get better," okay? Where's my essential oil, ladies? You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. I have 2 essential oil ladies that actually put drops of oil into pills. I didn't know you could do this, or it was legal, okay? Send them to me through the mail. I can't even pronounce the names of the oil. The only thing I do know is that every day, both of my capsules contain 2 drops of frankincense, okay, which I know from my time in seminary is for your burial, which kind of bothers me, okay? I don't think frankincense should be in a get better oil. It ought to be in a goodbye oil, okay? But anyway, I'm not bitter. And so anyway, I fell asleep in the evening, forgot to take my medicine, woke up 12:30 at night and went, "Oh, I haven't taken any of my medicine." Now I'm trying to recalculate what I need to do. I go into the kitchen. My wife has the medicine laid out there right on the sink. I just forgotten to take it. I opened the refrigerator door, didn't want to wake up anybody in the house. Everybody's sound asleep. Opened the refrigerator door in the glow of that 15-watt cool bulb there, you know, took a little glass of water there, started taking my pills. In the taking of all of my pills now, somehow I looked down, I realized that I had dropped 2 pills on the floor. There are 2 pills on the floor. And you have to understand, we have young kids at our house, so we believe if something falls on the floor, there's a window, a short window of time in which you can pick it up, and it's still considered clean. Do you know what I'm talking about? Yeah, okay. At our house, that's 45 minutes. So anyway, I picked it up, popped them in my mouth, swallowed them, went back to bed. Everything was fine, slid back into bed, nobody any wiser. I'm laying there. Instead of falling back to sleep, I started getting indigestion. Instead of move quickly from indigestion to an upset stomach, move quickly from an upset stomach to outright pain. And as a man who has been married now for 33 years consecutively, I realized that I should not suffer alone. Can I get an amen? Can I get you know what? Thank you. Thank you, Deacon. Appreciate that. And so I leaned over to my wife, the love of my life, my helpmeet unto the Lord, biblically speaking. And I shook her arm and I said, baby, wake up, I'm not feeling well. To which my wife, the love of my life, says to me, roll over and go to sleep, you'll feel fine in the morning, okay? That was not the level of care I expect after 33 years of faithful marriage. Can I get another amen? Thank you very much, okay. And I started to get mad. And I said, nope, not going to take the bait, not going to get angry. What would Jesus do? I said, he would send her to hell right now is what he would. No. Sorry, hang on. Thought I'd go ahead and get that one covered right now. Yeah. No, I was joking, obviously. I said, no, Jesus would give her a second chance. You know what I'm talking about. So I thought about this. Now, I do not know a lot about psychology. My wife does. I've studied her doing her psychological stuff with people. My wife has her master's degree in orchestral conducting. Female orchestra conductor. Talk about unemployable. There it is. Okay. Minor in counseling, okay? So, well, anyway, my major was in communication and hypnosis. I wanted to be a televangelist. But anyway, no. Oh, I'm sorry. Was he okay with that? Okay. Father's okay with that one. Thank you.